Hi, this is Catherine's low-income prepping slash survival. Um, as you can see, I'm in the apartment. Got my little dream catchers up there, my do not tread on me snake, and the bed behind me. And somewhere back there is the wonder dog under that blanket over there. So, and of course, Tam's upstairs. That's usually where she is. So today I want to talk to you about a couple of quick things. First of all, I want to talk to you about this. This is Chicken Noodle Soup by Bear Creek. And we had some of this last week, and it was very, very good. And I definitely recommend it. It's only in a plastic, I thought this might have been Mylar, but it's only in a plastic bag, but it's sealed up good. I've had this for over a year, and it's definitely something you could keep long term. It tasted great when we opened. In fact, it was very good. The only thing we added to it was some seasonings. It has lots of seasonings in it, so you don't really even need to do that. But we also put in some chicken. We had extra chicken. Excuse me. Itchy nose today. That's the other thing. We're cleaning our apartment up because we're going to have a inspection. At the place we live in, they do a 3-month inspection. It's a very nice place. I don't like living in apartment buildings, but it's what we can afford right now. Later on, after we get our bills paid and we save up money, we'll get our own piece of property and we'll build a place on it. It'll just take time, as usual. We figure within the next 2 years, 7 months now and something. So anyhow, if you ever want to buy some food for long term, consider these noodles because it's a good base. Soup is always filling, and all you really need to do is add water and heat it up and cook it up. It has noodles, as you can see on the picture. It has noodles and carrots and peas. You probably wouldn't want to add a few other things to it. It'd be good if you had some more peas, some more corn, some more carrots. I mean, like a mixed vegetable, dump it in here. That's about all you would need, along with some actual chicken in a can. This has some, I think, dehydrated chicken in it seemed to. But I think you could add some chicken from a can, too. And then with this as a base, it'd make a very good meal. And we ate it for a couple days. So it's not just one time. It'll feed you for 2 or 3 days, depending on how much of it you eat at a time. In a survival situation, you might just let it sit, There used to be this old saying, it was peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the pot, 9 days old. And the reason why is in the Middle Ages, people used to throw food into a big pot that was kept on the earth, and when they would heat it up, and that's what they would have for their dinner. It's like a porridge, which means it had a lot of little different things in it, but it also was more like a soup too. All right, well, anyhow, there's that. So, yes. So the other day, I did something stupid. I went out and spent money I really couldn't afford to spend, but I got us something else for protection. I'm kind of rounding out our protection devices. We'll just use that word. And I also picked up this, excuse me while I reach down here to get it. I also picked up this purse. It's a nice black leather purse. Sorry it's so hard to see. If I move too much with this cheap camera on this laptop. And so it's very nice. And it... my other purse was kind of floppy to carry my protection around in. And in certain places, of course, I would put it on a belt holster. But just traveling in the car or doing some things or going into a store, I really don't like to have it out, even though I live in Georgia, which has constitutional carry. Oh, and by the way, Alabama got constitutional carry. Congratulations, Alabama. Remember to like and subscribe. I don't have a lot of subscribers. I'm trying to build up my subscribing base. So we're, like I said, cleaning the house. So I'm kind of sniffling and my nose is itching and my eyes are burning. And we did some things with the house. We got rid of some things. Um, it's surprising how hard it is to achieve the goals that you're working for. As I said before, our goals are to pay the majority of our bills off this year. We got 11 months more to go. We've paid the truck off. We've paid two of our credit cards off. And yes, it's nice to have credit cards, but I've pretty much closed them all. Found out I got one I haven't closed yet, and they were nice enough to send me a note about it, saying that if I didn't close the account or stop using it, they would charge me a renewal fee for the next year. So their service fee by the year, by the way, is $150. So I'm going to go ahead and call them and cancel that. The whole thing is that I could use that 150 somewhere else. So each month I'm paying some on bills. I'm getting some gear. I'm getting some equipment we need, some survival stuff, and some tools. Next month's going to be really tight because I made these purchases this month. Have to really work at for the next 3 or 4 months putting money back in. But we're also going to replace what we used. We're also going to be building up our tools and stuff. By the end of the year, I'm hoping to have all the hand tools I would need that, are non-electric, and also maybe some electric tools, like maybe, what would you call that? A crosscut, not crosscut. Well, I'd like to have a crosscut saw, but anyhow, I have a crosscut saw. Excuse me, I'm getting confused here. A rip saw is what I was trying to think of. And I also need one of those saws, a sawzall, I guess it's called. I'd like to have one that takes a battery and have an extra battery, circular saw and stuff as extra batteries. And that way I can take care of the things that I need to do. I was watching a video the other day, and a guy had bought a really nice cabin kit. And all the logs came pre-cut, pretty much. But there were some other things that needed to be done. And, he needed like boring device, and he needed some scrapers, and he needed a sander. He used sand. Actually, I think it was a 90-degree angle grinder. And he actually used it to shape the edges of the woods at the butt ends of the wood and stuff. He built this whole thing all by himself. So I imagine with two people that are even handicapped, we might be able to build something like that. But it's going to be a while off. I figure save up $10,000, get the tools, and then next year, after the bills are paid and we have all the hand tools, I need like a miter saw. We need some other tools, a big square, a long level, a chalk line, 100-foot tape measure, a few other things. I got small tape measures. I got 2 hammers. We've got screwdrivers and wrenches and 2 drills that are rechargeable and extra batteries for them. I like the rechargeable batteries because I have a 13-watt solar panel, and it's from Harbor Freight. And you fold it open, and it's got a shoe thing where you can plug in those shoes that the battery goes into, and it charges them up. So that's our goal, is to stay on the lower end of the power tools and be able to charge them on that. Plus, by then, we're going to have some solar panels before we move out. I'm sorry, I had to move around. My hair was getting caught on my chair behind me. So I hope you're all doing well out there, and I hope everyone that's having to deal with the storms out in California. See, there's a perfect example. I was talking to somebody the other day online. I commented about some of his remarks, and I'm not going to say who because they were kind of rude. But one of the things was he was saying homeless people. Well, you know what? You can be homeless tomorrow is what I told him. He says, well, all this and that, and there's these people. And I said, do you realize that all these people who got burned out of their houses, mudslides took off their house off the side of the hill, their houses fell into the ocean, they're all technically homeless too. And yes, they may have insurance if their insurance will cover them, but they're still out there. And if they can't get another house or get another thing built for that, that money, while they may have gotten insurance money, that's only going to last so long. I don't know if you notice, food's going up, gas going up, diesel's going up, everything's going up. I keep saying that every video. All you have to do is lose your primary place to live and all your belongings get damaged and you have to start over. The insurance is to replace all that, but they're kind of living in a fairy tale land that they're going to be able to find another place and move into it and be just as happy because they're going to have to downscale. They're going to have to buy less stuff. They're not going to be able to replace their stuff, even if they think they got it, because the price of all the stuff has gone up. I was looking at something the other day, and it was like $15 more than what I bought it for 5 years ago. And I was sitting there going, well, that's about $3 a year of inflation on the item. So that was like, I would say 10% inflation. And they keep saying there's only like 13% inflation. On some things it's only really 8%. That's not true. It's 48%. I'm going to tell you. There's things at the store that have doubled and tripled in value. Good luck on replacing things. Oh, and yes, I want to talk about the people in Iowa. I think it was Iowa that's doing it. Could be Nebraska, but I'm not really sure. I only caught part of Autumn's backyard garden. She mentioned that there's this guy in the Senate that they have there within the state that meets at the State House, and he wants to pass a law so that only certain foods can be bought with the food stamps. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret. I get food stamps, and my food stamps do not cover all of my food for the month. And when I go in and shop, I just buy whatever I'm going to buy. And then I have to put cash in to cover the difference. And towards the end of the month, I got to put cash in to cover the difference. Do you know that this month was the first month that I had milk and bread covered by my food stamps? And that's because I did without a lot of stuff this month. I couldn't get all the stuff that I wanted to get, even though I got all that food that I'm replacing. There was still probably, I'd say 15% of the food to 20% of the food that I did not replace that we were down. And next month I'm going to replace that food. And I'm going to get things. It's stupid stuff this guy was saying he wanted to keep people from buying. Like hamburger? Chicken? Oh, come on. Hamburger and chicken. Hot dogs? Hamburgers? I mean, pre-made hamburgers is the cheapest way to buy hamburger, and you don't have any waste. And you can actually get quarter-pound burgers and have a couple of hamburgers or one hamburger, depending on how much you eat. And hot dogs. Hot dogs are one of the cheapest things you can buy. What are they going to do? Outlaw ramen next? Say, oh no, you can't buy ramen on food stamps. Come on, people. It's hard enough to be poor and stuff. And yeah, I would love to go out tomorrow and go back into the security field that I used to do. And I would love to go back out and bring the money in that I used to do. Until I was injured on my job, I never understood how hard it was to be extremely poor, because when I left home when I was young, I was on my own for a while, and it was hard, and I was poor. But then I got jobs, I got an income. I didn't have to depend upon, the kindness of others. I didn't have to wait for a monthly check. And now that I'm on Social Security, by the way, I just got a letter from Social Security saying I'm qualified for Part B. But because I missed out on some of my credits, I'm not going to be getting anything from them, and I'm not going to qualify for Part A, I guess. So I don't know. I'm going to look into it. We'll see what happens. Anyhow, please like and subscribe. Love you all. Be good to each other. Love each other. Try to make the world a better place. Let's all quit fighting and arguing between ourselves. Remember, there's only one race, and that's the human race. And remember, if you're listening to this, you are the resistance.